Hi, folks. I think I want to share my heart with you about this thing that we've been talking about, potentially putting together and building. And I would really like to, somehow make sure that we're all on the same page. So I'm not sure that I would say it the way that Paul would say it, or say it the way that Ari would say it, or other members of the group would say it. But I really want to share my ideas because I don't want to make an erroneous assumption as to what we're trying to do. There are lots of consulting firms out there that offer just about everything that any business could want. I know this because they've tried to hire me. They've tried to get me to join them. They've tried to get me to pay it. Some people have sent me paychecks in advance of our conversation to tempt me to be a part of it. And I can tell you that they all operate within what I consider to be the corruption or corporate model. Many people in business think that the corporate model is how business has always been done. That is so extremely wrong. At the most, what we commonly refer to as the corporate model, the corporate structure, where you have the head person at the top and then sort of a pyramid of what goes downstream, or the responsibilities, where you have a great deal of a workforce or labor force that is referred to as a human resource. Excuse me. And all of the profit and the benefit goes up to, the top of the pyramid. That is only something that has existed for, I'm going to give it a lot of room here and say 4 generations. Up until 4 generations in the United States, the main way that business was done is as a family, as a tribe, as a group. And when somebody went to work for that company, they were basically adopted. That's what they did. And so that's why we have in our culture a lot of ways that people define themselves by their work. Someone says, well, who are you? He says, well, I'm a bookkeeper or a doctor or whatever. Well, that's kind of ingrained in us. What's not ingrained is to have our souls, our lives, our consciousness, our effectiveness completely sucked out of us for the profit of others. Okay? I don't believe in that structure. I don't think that's the way things have to be. And most of the world, believe it or not, I can give you countries, incidents, and corporations around the planet that don't operate that way. Now, this corporate model has infected other fields of endeavors and works around the world, but for the most part, this is kind of an American thing, and it's not one of our best exports. And like I said in the email the other day when I was talking to Ari, we should be looking at each other as cooperators, not competitors. Well, there's a lot of the same tools. I'm not saying that you have to take everything you know, but the tools that you know, and you can't use them anymore. But I can use a hammer to build a glorious spiritual monument, a beautiful church, a nice home, a good piece of furniture. Or I can take that same hammer and beat the crap out of things and destroy them. What I'm saying is that we have the tools, but, as I mentioned before, calling human beings a resource gives them no more pertinence than a pile of lumber. So I don't call the people that I work with a human resource. Okay? They are human beings, and I like to have them resourceful. But I look at the talents and the gifts and the abilities of each person. I talk to them about that and say, how can Shaman's Dream, ET Global, or Stone Man Distributing help you to grow into that person? How can we be in this together rather than, it's my company, I do it my way? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I don't feel that way and that I didn't feel that way a couple times last week, but I am working so hard not to be that it would be beautiful for me to have a group of like-minded individuals. And so whether you call it a family, or whether you call it a tribe, or whether you call it spiritual integrity, I'm looking at being a part of a group that is that. And whether I'm the head janitor in it or the leader of it is irrelevant to me, because it's all about all y'all, to use my southern roots. It's about all y'all being we all, doing good for all, and we can do this so that everyone profits, and that profit could be spelled both with an F and a PH. Okay? But you have to want to do that from the beginning. Because this corporate mentality has become so much a part of our reality and the place that we live. The first barrier we have to get over is getting people to believe it. I have had people refer to me as naive. Well, with naivety, my company in the last 10 years has had an 11,000% increase in business. So I'm going to keep being naive. It is hurtful when people do not respect what it is that you're trying to do. But that shouldn't change you from doing it. I in no way, shape, or form meant my statements about my approach for the survey to be insulting to anybody. But our best relationships, business relationships, come from clients who, that because of our interaction, have become friends. That's the way it's been with Paul. That's the way it's been with others. That I've actually become friends with people. But it also starts from my beginning approach. I don't approach people with, "Hi, how are you today?" Because they know instantaneously who's on the other end of the phone. Or who's, when I walked into their store. When I walk into their store, I'm enthusiastically wanting to show them something. When I'm talking on the phone, it's, okay, here's an example. What was the last really great movie or event you went to? And when you were talking to your brother, your sister, or your friend about that event, did you start off with, "Hi, how are you today?" Or did you just go, "Wow, I went to this thing and I just wanted to tell you about it"? Well, in a manner of speaking, everybody wants friends. That's why this Facebook thing has gone crazy. Okay? There are people who actually brag about having a bazillion friends. Well, if they had called them contacts, then there would never have been any room for them. Okay? For example, Microsoft had a contact manager built in that was just the bomb. It was a part of Microsoft Office. Okay? If people were happy being called contacts instead of friends, then that would have been as big as Facebook, which it was not. So we're dealing with a modern culture that wants to be included. And unless you approach your market, and irregardless of the consulting thing, listen to me for a second. Unless you approach your market, your contacts, your prospects, like they are friends, someone else will take your clients from you. Because other people are catching on to this. And if you want to know my secret, that was it. I approach people as if they're just a friend I haven't met yet. There's a little awkwardness in the beginning. Okay? But far less awkward than trying to approach somebody like they are a contact. I wanted to send this out to everybody so that we could at least have a foundation of beginning, or at least have a discussion about what this is going to look like. I want everybody to feel like they're a part of this, even though this has been a vision and a dream that, as Paul can testify to, I've had for 25 years. I am in the process of building these kind of networks and these kind of relationships in my own company. I am also looking forward to working with all of you. But I wanted to get my thoughts and ideas out there before we really start implementing this survey, because I don't want to build just another consulting group that operates with the corruption, a corporate model. So I hope this is received in the light and love that I mean it to be. But I also wanted to clear up any confusion about why I'm involved with this. Thank you so much.